Annuities are horrible. They come with high fees, extreme complexity, and are sold by pushy salespeople who are more interested in cashing that commission check than helping you with your retirement challenges. There's no shortage of negative information concerning annuities on the internet, so it's plausible that most people who buy an annuity end up hating their decision. But it turns out, very few people come to rue the day they bought an annuity. And the evidence that annuities are bad is, well, somewhat non-existent. How many people hate their annuity? If we use information from the National Association of Insurance Commissioners complaint database, the number of annuity-related complaints comes in at around 4,500 annually. That might sound like a lot, but consider that the insurance industry issues 500 to 700,000 annuity contracts per year. Using just the number of contracts issued in a year, that would mean fewer than 1% of annuity purchasers end up dissatisfied with their annuity purchase. Comparatively, 10 to 20% of the nearly 1 million people who undergo knee surgery annually are unhappy with the experience. The criticism towards annuities tends to be heavy on opinions and light on facts. Take the fiduciary claim, for example. The idea is that annuities are mostly sold by insurance agents who are not fiduciaries. The insinuation is that these people do not have your best interest in mind because there is nothing forcing them to operate this way. The threat is that these non-fiduciary insurance sales agents will sell you unnecessary annuities motivated by their unrelenting desire to earn commissions at the expense of your retirement security. There is, however, no solid evidence that this takes place at any scale. In fact, the industry data shows us that fiduciary advisors receive way more complaints per capita than non-fiduciary advisors. I don't bring this up to suggest that fiduciary advisors are bad for you. I merely want to point out the illusion that fiduciaries are undeniably better is likely false. I also want to point out how ridiculous it is to place so much weight behind one single attribute. Furthermore, several regulatory rule changes shifted the requirements even insurance agents must meet when making annuity recommendations in certain situations, like buying an annuity inside an IRA. The changes put more stringent rules on how insurance agents and all financial professionals go about recommending products people purchase inside IRAs. And this hasn't slowed annuity sales down one bit. This would suggest there really wasn't much of a problem with the lack of a fiduciary standard in the first place. Further, research from Vanguard suggests that retail investors experience practically no difference in benefit from working with a fiduciary versus non-fiduciary advisor. The net gain is essentially the same across the board. It appears those who recommend against annuities do so because of their own bias, fears, or potentially self-interest. One of the most cited reasons advisors avoid annuities is because they themselves have a hard time understanding them. It's also possible that some advisors are committing the very same infraction they accuse insurance agents of. Selling annuities might remove assets managed on which those advisors collect their fees. Academic researchers tend to agree that most Americans have a lot to gain from an annuity. The establishment of guaranteed income to cover certain basic needs offers significant peace of mind, and lifetime guaranteed income helps reduce the risk of outliving one's savings. So, do annuities make sense? With $432.6 billion in annuity sales in 2024, the industry is reaching into new records. Additionally, retirement researchers show us that Americans are very hesitant to spend their savings in retirement because they fear they'll run out of money. But those who have a guaranteed income, be it from Social Security, a pension, or annuities, have zero reservations about spending that money. This same research claims if more Americans used some of their savings to buy an annuity, they'd end up making substantially more use of their retirement assets throughout their lifetime due to the observed preference for spending income over savings. Research from the UK shows that annuity owners were significantly happier in retirement than non-annuity owners. They were also much less likely to struggle in meeting basic, regular living expenses. The decision to buy an annuity is a personal one, as is the decision to not buy an annuity. but it's a decision that should be based in fact, not loudly stated opinion. The evidence doesn't support a narrative that annuities are causing widespread harm. And most people who buy them are perfectly happy with them. The numbers simply do not lie here, but sometimes the conventional wisdom does.